Hi everybody, this video tutorial is on how to make this cute little treat box that when the sleeve is pulled out has some Chips Ahoy cookies. These little cookie packs can be found in the cookie aisle, but you've got to look where the snacks are at, like the snack packs. And of course when I saw this Ahoy, I'm like, oh, what could I put in it? Chips Ahoy, perfect. So let's get started making this cute little treat box. It can be made using one sheet of cardstock. And I'm picking up the sky blue color that's in this one sheet of the High Tide designer paper. Again, it's sky blue. And you can make both of these sections out of one piece of 8.5 by 11. Just make sure that you cut it in the right direction. So let's go ahead and we'll make our box base here first. So I'll take the cookies out for the moment. And that the box is made by using a piece of, this is 8-inch, it's 8-inch by 4.5, and I've pre-scored it on all four sides at 1 inch. And so, and again, you can use your Simply Scored, and it's scored 1 inch all the way along the edge. So next what we want to do is take our paper snips, and along the 8-inch side, we want to cut along the score mark up to the score mark that goes this way. So I'm using the score mark as a guide and then stopping at the other score mark. And so on this one, let me just kind of pre-fold this one just a little bit so that you can see it a little better. So where those two intersect is where we want to cut and stop. So cut and stop. Paper snips are always great for this type of a project. And you saw me, I turned it around, and I'm doing it on cutting on the other side the same way, using those as the score lines as a cut guide, like that. Take our bone folder and we'll get nice crisp edges. You could use the bone folder first or second, it really doesn't matter on this project. Whatever you like to do. I always kind of like to get my cutting done for whatever reason first. Again, we'll get nice crisp edges to start with. Next, what we want to do is take our sticky strip, and we do want to use sticky strip since this is a 3D project that's going to get lots of work. So where we want to put the sticky strip is along the top edge when all of these sides are folded in. So for those little flaps that we just cut, we're going to fold them inwards, and then that's where the sticky strip's going to be. So I'll place that, and then I'll show you how that looks. So I've got our sticky strip on all of those little tabs. So when you put them, you put them inside or turn them in and put your sticky strip along the outer edge. And now it's just a matter of taking off the sticky strip. Sometimes rubbing your nail over top of it helps you get to peel the edge. And then we'll turn that inside and line up the edge. Do it with one more corner so that you can see how that works again. I'm going to peel off the sticky strip, and then line up the edge. And I'll do it with the other two. I almost forgot to say this. I've got one more side to do, but if you notice on the sample, there's a little notch out. That just helps when you pull it out of the box. You have kind of like a little area to catch and pull it with. You want to do it before you fold up your sides, your one side of it. So I've got it 3/4 of the way on. So let's see here. I'm going to take this out for now, undo it. There we go. So before you put that other side on, what we want to do is take any circle punch will do, just because I have this already out. This is 1 1/4 inch, and we just want to make a little notch. So before you put that sticky strip on one of the sides, make your notch out. It'll make it go, just make it easier on it. So I'm going to go ahead and you know, use the sticky strip here. I'll definitely reinforce that before I go. So that's all that it is for the box bottom. And then you'll notice that I put a little liner on it, and the liner is 2.5 by 6. So again, it just kind of keeps that little theme. I didn't adhere that down or anything. It's just lying loose in there. So now that's all ready to go for our little snack pack. So we'll set that off to the side for now. And the next is the wrapper. What I found is that it's easier for me to go ahead and decorate the wrapper first. So here's our wrapper. And before we actually put it, you know, around it and make it 3D. So the wrapper is a piece of design, or the cardstock, again, this is 8 by 6, and it's scored along the 6-inch side at 1.5, and it's scored at 2.5, 5.25, and at 6.25. So again, those dimensions are on there, or on your instruction sheet. And let's just go ahead and get nice crisp edges again. And the only side, or the only panel that we're going to do is this nice big section here in the center. That's going to be the top of the wrap. And so this section here is what we want to concentrate on. So I'll put this here. That's what we're going to be making. So I've got a piece of specific point cardstock, some of our high tie designer paper, and some of the Pacific Point striped gross grain ribbon. So I'm going to make this little panel section here first independently. So let's see here. Oh, my combo's just out of reach. Real quick. So I'm just getting just the lightest of a bead going on here. And with our little wheels, there's really no orientation to it. So it's an all-purpose one. I'll get it nice and close. And then get our little bottom border piece here. That on. If it overlaps a little bit, that's okay, because our ribbon's going to cover it. And I let that dry just a little too fast, so it'll be a little bit of a break in action. Make sure yours is lined up nicely. And then we're going to wrap our big nice striped ribbon around it. And for this, I just like taping it. Sometimes the tape just keeps it nice and secure versus maybe snail adhesive or Tombow. Again, sometimes just good old Scotch tape does the trick fine. And in this case, for both this ribbon as well as our sailor's knot, we are going to use tape to keep it down. So here's our sailor's knot. If you need a refresher on how to do that, please see the little tip on how to make it. And I'm just going to kind of gauge where I want it. And the same thing, I'm going to tape all of these tails onto the back side. That way I know they're nice and secure and not going to go anywhere. Go. That little gold piece is kind of flying off. We'll just trim that up. Okay, cute. Okay, so now this is ready to go into that center panel where, it's kind of a natural one of where it's going to go. Again, I'm going to use some Tombow. I'm going to go ahead and put Tombow right over the tape. And since this is nice in 3D, I want to make sure that I get lots of Tombow on it. And put that onto our center panel. So again, for me, it's just easier to do it before it gets into the 3D mode here. Okay, now we can put it together. And what we want to do in this case is we're going to use sticky strip again. But here's our little, I guess our slide tray section. And I just want to make sure that it looks like it's going to wrap good. And it is. Okay, perfect. Always double check it, guys, just to make sure that there's no, technical difficulties, because once you get sticky strip on it, it's done. It's done for. So it doesn't really matter which side of the wrap, whether it's right or left or right. I'm just doing it on the left side here. It's closest to the camera. And running my sticky strip kind of crazily. Don't have a very straight line on that. Good land. Talk about the phrase drunken sailor. That's what this thing looks like. Somebody was a little tipsy when they made it. They put that down. Okay, so I'm going to bring my candy wrap, the bottom, back in, just so I have a guide of wrapping this around. Kind of try to get it squared up as much as possible. Slide that back out now. And our wrap is done. It's really not hard at all, is it? Just a couple of score lines and some sticky strip, and we're in business. Okay, just a few more things. We're going to get some stamping done now, so that we can have our nice sentiments on it and our coordinated embellishments. Okay, so we're going to use, this is a new die. It's called the Bubble Words die, and I've pre-cut it one out in summer starfruit. And I've got our Ahoy image from the Hello Sailor stamp set. So using the Ahoy, and get the Pacific Point ink out. And I'm just going to eyeball it here. Make sure I have it going in the right direction first, though. Okay, there we go. And stamp. So I even like it that it's a little bit crooked and off-center. It's kind of whimsical that way. And then next I have, this is from Gorgeous Grunge stamp set. I love the little splatter mark that it gives to it. So if you see here on this image and that, a little watermark and a little spray. And I'm going to take my Smoky Slate ink and give it a little watermark. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And we're going to take our little nautical wheel, again from the stamp set, and get our Pacific Point out again. Ink, I'm going to ink that up. And I'm going to stamp it on some smoky gray cardstock. And with the 1 1/4 inch circle punch, line it up and punch it out. And I'm going to come back in with my Gorgeous Grunge watermark. My stamp room is kind of cool today and things aren't sticking well, so I'm just going to take it right off the block. There we go. And then I'm going to layer our wheel onto a 1 3/8 circle punch of our soft sky. And again, you can take a little Tombow to that one. Put that on. And get some Stampin' Dimensionals. And this puppy's about put to rest. So I just need one for the wheel. for the Ahoy, I'm going to go ahead and put 2 on. Peel off my backings. And we've got our Ahoy Chips Ahoy treat box made. Hope you enjoy making yours. Happy crafting. Bye-bye.